overview of CO2 Partners' strategic planning process. A strategic plan is about making a set of decisions based on the current, ever-changing facts of the environment that you operate in. Our planning process will help you develop a plan that is both agile and measurable while challenging base assumptions that often block organizations from greater success. Organizations like to plan for predictable growth, and yet most organizations don't grow or shrink in predictable ways. Because growth is unpredictable, it's unwise to bank on a certain set of assumptions. In our process, you will explore many of possible outcomes, barriers, opportunities, and pre-decide how to act should key assumptions come to pass. And you'll know how to act no matter what the future holds if the organization is in alignment. When everyone knows what is trying to be achieved and how you want to achieve it, decision-making for individuals and the organization become clearer and easier. To accomplish this, CO2 follows 5 clear success principles: leadership, attention to marketplace, engagement of stakeholders, structured framework, facilitated teamwork. CO2 Partners believes that the greater the involvement up front, the less selling and telling you need to do throughout the year. As the chart demonstrates, the speed to a decision will be slower by involving more people in a collaborative process, and the ownership and commitment will be higher. CO2 Partners uses defined processes, rules of engagement, masterful facilitation to remove barriers and elevate the level of collaboration of groups. We believe in the following tenets based upon James Surowiecki's book, Wisdom of Crowds. 1. A group can build inclusive mental models. 2. Groups hold greater insights together than the smartest person in the room. 3. Conditions for a smarter group are maintained by ensuring cognitive diversity, independence, and decentralization. 4. Disagreement will lead to best decisions. 5. Too many communications reduces groups' intelligence. 6. Information aggregation functionality is needed. 7. The right information arrives to the right people at the right place at the right time in the right way. And 8. Expert chasing is not needed in the process. Breakthrough strategy comes from scanning the external environment and incorporating these trends into potential strategies that can elevate an organization's potential. The discovery phase brings external trends that your organization operates under front and center for your consideration. CO2 Partners does this by a collection of surveys and tools that looks both internal at the culture, leadership, process, and people, as well as externally at societal trends, political implications, technological advancements, and competitive forces. CO2 will work with you to gather data from employees, customers, vendors, and any other relevant stakeholders that hold critical information. These surveys are about gathering data that may lead to improvement strategies by looking at the value proposition you offer to your customers. The greater the clarity you provide during these exercises, the better the outcome of the plan that is developed. We take interactive data gathering to a new level. CO2 Partners believes that mining the collective ideas of the group improves its ability to make smarter, more informed decisions. Through the use of our collaborative platform, individuals can share their thinking and focus their efforts towards shared purpose and goals. To achieve the best results, 4 conditions must be met: diversity of opinion, independence, decentralization, aggregation. We use an audience response system to gather team input during workshops. This allows participants the ability to reply to questions quickly and vote anonymously. This increases the efficiency and effectiveness of the workshop phase. We use an audience response system and online tools to gather as much anonymous feedback as possible throughout our process. This allows participants the ability to reply to questions quickly and vote unanimously. Many participants are used to doing much of the work on post-it notes and flip charts. For those who are so inclined, this will be a refreshing change. At CO2 Partners, you will begin your strategic planning meeting by learning and agreeing to our expedition rules, which moves a group or team from dysfunctional at times to thriving. Our expedition rules, processes, and facilitation create a safe container for participants that democratizes the group into deeper sharing. We involve you in the process of both learning about strategic planning, why it is important to any organization, and how to improve an organization through large amounts of data to making informed, collaborative decisions. Phase 2 focuses on values, vision, and mission and takes between 2 and 3 days. Every company can implement strategic planning by involving all or many employees at every level. And not surprising what you will hear when you do this. This is so great that you're asking for my opinion. Awesome! When speaking with employees who have never been asked for their opinions before at work, by the way, 33% of bosses rarely or never ask for their subordinates' advice based upon a national survey that we conducted. They say they will never work for another company in which they did not get to participate in the strategic planning process. Meetings become more effective when the participants have the ability to interact in a way that is structured, inclusive, and convergent. You will see the pattern of ideation, individual accumulation, sorting, and selecting repeated often throughout the planning process. Not only will you become a stronger team member by your participation in CO2 planning process, you will be more effective at running your own meetings by replicating our proven meeting process within your organization. We believe that when a group ideates, it should do it solo. By having each participant flush out all their thinking before they share it, they are more likely to not be stifled by other participants' ideas, which tends to be the effect of traditional brainstorming processes. CO2 Partners monitors the level of manual versus automation used to facilitate a group. Too much technology can lead to lower levels of discussion. Not enough can lead to too much paper shuffling. The accumulation process can be effective in a manual mode of collection data on post-it notes or using our proprietary technology that simulates this tried and true process and puts it online. Once individuals have ideated, the group will share their ideas one thought at a time, moving around the table, having each person share one idea while not repeating ideas that have already been shared. This allows all participants to contribute and removing the temptation of the extroverted group members from over-dominating the introverted group members in the planning process. Once the group has all the ideas up, then it is a matter of defining the categories and narrowing the selection pool. It becomes very obvious to a group what the main categories will be, and then to sort those individual ideas into the category. By doing this, you avoid the issue of beginning with categories, which tends to limit the idea pool, and it facilitates collaboration between team members. Although Dotmocracy works, CO2 prefers to use Group Mind Express to make anonymous selections form the sorts. Facilitating strategic planning is all about engaging all participants into the conversation. This happens at each stage of the ideate, accumulate, sort, and select process. We believe that you can use the group's collective intelligence to gather important information and to build support for better decisions. The ability to view what everyone is thinking makes a huge impact on how people work together. You will share knowledge, gather confidence levels in proposed strategies, stay on track after decisions are made, and benefit from rapid course corrections when these are needed. There are two tools that we use at CO2 Partners to allow this level of interactivity to both gather, sort, and decide what direction the company should go. Turning Technologies is a great partner for CO2 Partners, and we use their audience response system frequently with small and large groups. It provides a way to give anonymity to the employee and great insight to the leadership team. Another tool that allows you to collect data, sort, and decide that has become indispensable to our planning process is Group Mind Express. Group Mind allows you to collaborate and build group intelligence. You will find it is not all good news for the planning process. The wider the expanse of participants, the greater the amount of data that will be needed to be sorted and decided upon. This often means that the process will take longer and at times become frustrating to the leaders who may have been through planning before. When you invite people to participate, the language of planning is new, so you will need to orient the employees to this language before they begin to participate. Having a common platform to share planning, priorities, action steps gives everyone a chance to stay involved and up to date, so your organization will be more agile. How to maintain speed, wide input, and clarity in building a decision-making process. When decisions are based on criteria derived from principles which the stakeholder group has helped to develop, they will stick. Why? They are more apt to be robust, balanced, and actionable. During strategic planning, we will create a one-page document that contains the company's operating value, vision, mission, objectives, strategies, and actions. It's important that we agree and align on these items, and that they not be vague, emotionless, inaccurate, or unattainable. The values will be limited to no more than 6, so that employees will know what is special about where they work. The vision statement will be succinct and clear. The mission statement will be no more than 8 words and will be memorable. There will be not more than 8 objectives, strategies, and actions for the company, and there will be no more than 3 actions in any one quarter. Those are the top end of the ranges for each of those items. Concision, accuracy are critical when building alignment. As employees, you must always know what you are trying to achieve and how. The easier it is for you and your coworkers to remember, the more likely it will be observed and communicated to others. Depending on who you learn strategic planning from, vision, mission, strategy, objectives, actions, goals, and tasks can mean different things. For our purposes and for your company going forward, the definitions will be using the following language and meaning from the subsequent slides. Values. Values are the software of the soul. They aren't permanent, and yet they don't change all that much over the course of our lives. They are coded in us, prompting us to act in certain ways, consistent ways. Our value system and individual beliefs are learned. From the moment we're able to process thoughts and language, you take cues from other people and your environment. Organizations have values that strongly impact the culture and the way you behave. Our process will help you become crystal clear on your operating values. Vision. Vision is a measurable direction of where you are going. CO2 Partners believes that whatever you state your vision to be, you can look forward to know specifically when you arrive. When you arrive, you will be able to celebrate the victory, and you can look back and say, "We made it!" This is not some soft, mushy destination. If your vision was to climb to the top of Everest, you would certainly know where you were going when you arrived and have photographic proof when you got back. If you can't do this with your vision, it is likely not clear enough, or it may be your mission and not your vision. Mission. The mission is the reason you exist as a firm. The mission statement is your statement of purpose. It describes why you exist as an organization. It both tells us what you exist to do and what you will not do. It creates the boundaries in which you choose to operate the organization. It provides the organization a way to stay focused on your core competencies and prevents you from being distracted by opportunities that do not fit your purpose. The mission statement is not about what methods you use to accomplish your vision. It is about why you exist to accomplish the vision. Situational analysis. Detailed overview of where the company plays. It includes macroeconomics, industry, company details, This grouping of information will mainly come from the senior team within the organization and is a good start to doing continuous learning research about your market. We will collect a great deal of information from you and other stakeholders of your organization to seek insights into the planning process. Phase 3 will take the data that was gathered in Phase 1 and translate it into insights, actionable strategies, objectives, and meaningful information. With this information in hand, participants will attend 3 separate workshops where the stakeholders will build the strategy to action plan. The processes delivers an action-oriented, measurable plan that has buy-in from the stakeholders involved. Market leaders. There are 3 different types of value discipline that successful companies can adopt to command leadership in their market. Which of these, if any, is taken by any particular firm depends on the sort of products or service that they provide and upon the organization's culture that they maintain. The 3 value disciplines can be understood through the diagram in front of you. Product leadership. Product leadership is like Apple Computer, where they continually try to improve the product and guess or understand what the market wants before they even know. Operational excellence. Operational excellence you could think of is like Walmart or McDonald's. Someone who, once they work out the system, it's about efficiency and cost effectiveness. And then there's customer intimate. This is like Deloitte and Touche, where it's about knowing your customer better than they know themselves and then helping them and getting more of the wallet share. So which strategy is your organization following? Is it customer intimate? Is it product leadership? Or is it operational excellence? The concept between these is that one needs to make a decision of what they are going to optimize. In this case, it would be customer intimate with a 10, while in the other 2 categories, you need to sub-optimize. Many companies believe they need to be 10s in all, and because of that, they expend too much resources and they never get anywhere ahead of the pack. True strategy is knowing what you're going to do and then what you're not going to. Another look at this discipline of market leaders are summarized in the charts above. If you were to focus on customer intimate from the last slide, you would see that it's a delivering what the specific customer wants. And some examples of that would be Nordstrom's Airborne Express, or as I said before, Deloitte and Touche. In selecting your objectives, CO2 Partners borrows from the balanced scorecard work of Kaplan and Norton. The balanced scorecard model maintains that to build a sustainable business, you must focus on 4 specific aspects of the business. Financial. This encourages the identification of a few relevant high-level financial measures. In particular, designers were encouraged to choose measures that helped inform the answer to the question, how do we look to shareholders? Customer encourages the identification of the measure that answers the question, how do customers see us? Learning and growth encourages the identification of measures that answers the question, how can we continue to improve and create value? Internal business processes encourages the identification of measures that answers the question, what must we do to excel? These are the 4 aspects of the balanced scorecard that need to find their way into your strategic plan. What gets measured gets done. To choose the objectives, we will choose 8 performance indicators to begin with. So these are 8 key measurements that are really important to your organization. Then, once we've chosen these 8, you will then discuss which of these will drive the outcomes you are looking for. You will align these under 4 categories of this balanced scorecard model. You will then identify the most important ones selected and top rank them from the most important to the least important. Finally, you will apply targets to hit in each of these KPIs to convert them to annual objectives. Remember, objectives should always have a starting point and an ending point that you expect. Operational strategies are the qualitative expression of how you intend to meet your vision, mission, and objectives. while actions are those measurable movements that must happen to act on these strategies and fulfill the objectives. To do this, you will work from the SWOT analysis. Operational strategies are how an organization intends to close the gap over time between its current objectives and its planned future objectives. Another way to consider this is how it answers the question, what changes are required over time to meet the proposed objective? You should consider the structure of the organization, new skills and capabilities that are required, talent management to maximize engagement, change management to align operating culture, performance results, purposeful integration of all operating activities, customer-facing processes, and value propositions. Organizational actions are those massive moves that organizations must make to initiate the operational strategies to meet the organization's objectives, to meet the company's vision. We'll first choose 8 massive actions for the organization. Then align the strategies and objectives and be informed by the SWOT. No more than 2 per quarter and assigned accountability. The final step is to have a 1-page distributed along with the communication measurement processes or system. Our strategy to action 1-page plan helps keep all of the most critical information easy to access to all employees. Use CO2 Partners measurement system or your own. The important thing is to use one. CO2 will work with your management team to develop a fully executable plan. We will be asking employees and customers questions to involve them in the process. We do this so that we have many perspectives and we begin to develop the roadmap. We also do this to align, engage, increase accountability throughout the organization. Rule of focus. A plan becomes stronger when you narrow the focus. Rule of elimination. Eliminate as much as you add. Rule of engagement. The process is the outcome. Rule of alignment. If it doesn't align, it doesn't fit. 70% rule. 70% is agreement to move. Rule of position. Redefinition of position always makes you think bigger. Rule of action. If it doesn't move the organization forward in a tangible way, it does not belong in the plan. Elevate your planning. Use CO2 strategy to action